Hello, welcome to Heather and Hops. If you're new here, it's lovely to meet you. If you've been here for a while, thank you for coming back. Hopefully you have a warm beverage or a cold beverage or a beverage of choice and some sort of project that you're working on, be it sewing, knitting. I really only do knitting. I dabble in sewing just for practical means, but I don't sew. Yeah, I've forgotten to introduce myself, but that's fine. My name is Kat. I'm a knitter based in Hertfordshire, which finally has some sun. I've started recording my podcast. This is, but I started recording on Mondays, which was really good. But yesterday was so glum, like weather-wise, mood-wise, that I opted to wait, and I'm so pleased that I did. The sky is out. Yeah, I feel like that. The sun is out today. I've seen my first little blossom today, which was really exciting. Maybe premature, but it was really nice to just see buds and signs of life. So after quite a rubbish day, I feel quite a bit better and ready to do some sharing. I am sipping on one of my favourite current combinations, which is a big hunk of ginger with a rosebud. Oh, it's like warm and floral and spicy, and I love it. I think I actually might even make it, like, cold brew it, and even if that means brewing it warm and then putting it in the fridge. But I think this is going to be one of my sort of spring summer drinks. It's so good. And this is a Steve Harrison cups pop, which was gifted to Alex from Steve when he went to visit his home studio, which is amazing. Yeah, I have finished objects to share with you today. I don't have whips, and that's not because I don't have them. It's just I'm worried that I'm gonna talk for too long, and I think it's quite nice to have things to share over time, and not feel like I should rush through it so that I've got enough time. And that's more to do with recording, because our camera dies after about 45 minutes of recording, so I'd like to try and play it safe rather than having to wait 3 hours for the battery to charge and then come back again. So yeah, first thing, I finished my Bluebell Yarns socks. So Bluebell Yarns is run by Rebecca. I don't know Rebecca personally, but I love that she puts her name and puts herself out there, who might actually start doing some videos, which is cool. Rebecca also has quite a good blog in that she's going through the breeds that she sells and sort of explaining a bit more about them, and it's quite nice to have the information all in one place, and different people pick up on different parts of different breeds, which I think's cool too. And so she predominantly only has non-superwash yarns, and she hand dyes it herself, and this is her mohair and Corriedale sock base. So I think it's 50% Falkland Corriedale. Don't know why you always want to say merino after that, but Falkland Corriedale and 50% British mohair. And this was nice to knit. I feel like I might start needing to do a pair on slightly thicker needles, because I'm currently using 2mm. So my next pair might have to be on 2.25 just to mix it up. But these feel so good. I'm really excited. I've cast on the other one, but I'm not going to show you. It's like here. And I just can't wait to wear it. So I did my normal sort of wedge toe, which is not really that normal because it's toe up instead of cuff down, which is only the second pair I've done this on, but it's the same stitch, so I might have to do something slightly different next time. Simple stockinette. This is just, I kind of knew what number I would need to cast on, even though I adjusted my needle size because of the last pair of socks I did on a 2mm. and I did adjust a little bit because the yarn's slightly different. I think I added 2 extra stitches into this, and then did a heel flap and gusset, a proper one. So my last pair of no nylon socks, I used LB Handknit's basic sock integrated heel pattern, and this I opted to try a Aya Partridge heel toe up. It's definitely not my neatest work by any stretch. There is a little bit of well, I don't know what happened, to be honest. It looks like I just missed a row and skipped out, so that it kind of pops out the pattern slightly, and this isn't my neatest drawing, but maybe if I give it a little block it will look a little bit better. But I'm really pleased. I opted for 2x2 ribbing at the top too, which I just kind of, at the moment, I'm more drawn towards that kind of ribbing. I don't know. Is that normal to go? Of course it's normal to go in and out of phases and try different things and keep it interesting, which I think I have to do. Well, I'm hoping to do a few more intricate socks. I've had a few really lovely recommendations that I have had a little look at, and I think I might do a couple of them. But yeah, overall really happy, and I do have a feeling that these are going to wear quite well. I might be wrong, but I'm very excited to try it, though I must admit, Alex will giggle because I said must admit, which just sounds like a must admit to us. But I'm not wearing socks today and it feels so good. Because the weather's warmed up a bit. I'm wearing just a little top in the house and it feels so good. I love to be bundled up and snuggled down, don't get me wrong, but I always forget and always get excited when I can start to be a bit more free. I just love everything, basically, is what I'm saying. I love to snuggle down with a hot chocolate, 10 jumpers, and I also love to be able to wear linen shorts, one top, and bare feet. But anyway, but I am really excited by it. Just a note, if you don't know who this is Little Mai, or Audrey, Little Audrey, most of us refer to her as. She's the in-house mascot kitten, whose markings seem to be a-changing, and this is really delayed, isn't it? And I'm wearing a top that I designed myself today. Stand up a little bit, and in truth, this pattern has entirely been written up. I've graded it to the absolute best of my ability. There is a few little adjustments I would like to make from a couple of test knitters, alpha test knitters that tested it for me. I'm just really nervous about putting it into tech editing because it's going to probably cost me quite a bit of money, which is, it is what it is, and I want to support my lovely tech editor. But I don't know, I find grading at the moment a little bit of a kryptonite, a little bit scary. Obviously you want to do it right, you want to do it well, and all that to say, really happy with this top. This colour is Lallybrock Mohair by Ginger Twist Studio, and the rest are one of a kind that I dyed. The top is acid dyeing, and this bottom bit, which I'm so chuffed with, was tea and turmeric, and it came out just like the most perfect gold. So we're clearly having I'm smiling, which is really nice, kind of chaotic time today. I hope that you're still finding a bit of peace and joy here. Anyway, really pleased with these socks. Great that I could try the yarn without buying full skeins, which I believe Rebecca still has some available. And yeah, I would, so far, just enjoying knitting them. I would say I'd buy this yarn again just because I enjoyed knitting with it, but I will see how it wears. But even if it doesn't, like, I still think a wonderful shawl or like cowl would be gorgeous in this. And even in something like the Oslo hat, I don't know what you use for that, but something that looks like that, this would be a really nice yarn to hold with it, with another yarn or on its own double. Actually, that would be quite cool, wouldn't it? a little mild hat in these two minty greens. What a stark difference. I'm really grateful that I get to do this because I get to connect with people, and the connections yesterday meant a lot to me because, you know, I expressed how I was feeling to a group of my knitting friends, and they lifted me up almost instantly, and then I get to come here and talk to you and reflect on that and how I'm ebbing and flowing, and I think how we all are at the moment. So yeah, I'm grateful for the reflection today, especially because I can feel such a stark difference. So the second finished object is one that I've had for quite some time. I've got things on a table today, which is really handy because I'm sat on a, you know, like a footstool, you know, like a sofa one. It was Audrey's, but I've reclaimed it since she does have a sofa, and a big block of foam that is also a secondary sofa that I haven't done anything with in like 6 months for Audrey. So I'm sat on that, and it's a bit precarious, but it's much quieter. So I'm hoping to cut down editing time by not having a noisy chair, and I've also got a cute little coaster that Becky made for Alex for his birthday that means I can put my cup down quietly, so I'm not editing that out. And while I don't think that it necessarily needs to be over edited or edited too much, I don't want to edit what I do and what I say, but there's something really frustrating about hearing that cup when I'm editing, so I've done that. I am really tangential today. So I knitted myself a playsuit using the cotton, which is 100% Peruvian Pima cotton by We Are Knitters, last year, and it just had some problems. The crotch, the gusset, was really terrible, and not to the point where it was unwearable sort of practically. Around the house it was totally fine, but it did look a bit very ill-fitting when I was out, so I, you know, just didn't. So I finally picked it up last week, and I did share that. Lovely Dimmy kind of inspired me to just do it, and I do specifically, if there's things that I want to adjust and change, leave them in a place that I will see it often. And I left this where my needles are, so every time I went to change, you know, maybe change down needles for ribbing and cast off a project, I would see this. And then thinking forward to spring, and thought now's the time. So I finished it. I had picked up again for, let's talk about this, never going to be able to say it. So this is the waistband here, and I've ripped back 2 here, and I've managed to knit both legs, a neat looking gusset, pretty much woven all the ends in as well, I believe, and I did it very differently. I actually ripped back and completely changed the way I did the increases for the bottoms. So rather than having a straight line down the edge or 2 straight lines either side to increase, I just did them all sort of in a yoke method throughout. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I did give it a little wash, and most of the kinks where the yarn had been reknitted have come out, so there's a good chance that it will look really nice after the next wash, I think. And yeah, I might put in a bit of elastication here so that I don't have to tie it up. So I've done that so that I can cinch in the waist, and make it a bit more flattering but feel a little bit more cocooned, because it is quite loosey-goosey, which is what I was going for. And yeah, I'll put in some pictures hopefully so that you can see it, because this is not going to do it any justice. But this is the front, and it has a split back. I'm chuffed. I'm really quite excited because I have quite a few little tops like kind of like this, maybe not this one, but actually it wouldn't be bad, that I would, you know, throw over it as it starts to get cooler in the evenings. I've got quite a nice selection of jumpers that I can put over that are lightweight for the summer and spring. But also I wore this with, as you'll see in the pictures, like fleece lined tights and Doc Martens and my Eastwind jacket, and that's all I needed at the weekend. It was a really nice sort of easygoing outfit. So just got to knit some tights and some knickers, and then I can have an entire knit outfit. I just think that's really cool. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this has come out, and initially I was like, I'm never going to be able to figure out how to do a gusset and make it not look completely handmade, and I really think I've done a good job. I would very much struggle recreating this for, you know, anyone else, I think, because I've got a fairly decent understanding of my measurements now. I perhaps wouldn't have done it so low, and it could have been shorter, but I do kind of see this being something that I will be wearing when I'm in the park or in the woods. And like I always say, I'm a bit of a toddler. Like, I'm happy to sit on the floor and roll around the floor and practice yoga anywhere, basically. So if there's a moment where we're sat around for a bit long and I get a little fidgety, you know, so this is going to be perfect, is what I'm saying. And on that note, actually, I just wanted to say, like, my health has been a huge issue, which is the thing that brought me to knitting. And last week I did the longest run that I have in, I don't know, 3.5 years at this point, and I didn't end up in bed, and it feels so good to be progressing and moving forward. And I think I couldn't have done it without this space, and that sounds a little bit maybe melodramatic, but without the connections, without the hobby, without having something to continually move forward to, even when I'm at my worst, I wouldn't have been able to get back to where I am. So thank you for being here and allowing me to be part of your knitting journey and for impacting mine in such a big way. But yeah, I have 6 balls of this left, and I'm thinking of either holding this double and doing like a big bulky oversized jumper to put over it, or potentially doing a dress version. Or if you've got any other suggestions for a really good use for this cotton, I'm very much happy to, you know, take it on board. I don't know, it's really exciting. And then, I'm working towards being more intentional, and for that I want to just ensure that each project I'm doing is either really useful, going to be incredibly practical, or that I simply love and will cherish for as long as possible, or it's a lovely gift for someone. And this item, actually, I had to hang over the banisters upstairs so that I would do it. And it wasn't that I was putting it off, it was just I never saw it to do it, and then by the time the sewing machine was away, I was like, I don't really want to dig it back out just to do a short little modification. And so at the weekend I had hung this over the banisters so that I would see it, and every time I walked past I did. And I made a few lavender bags, so I had my sewing machine out and I was like, got it. Ran upstairs and got it and adjusted. So this was my Wrap Me Up cardigan by Plum Mum. I used Drops Mohair in the sage green colour, and this was, like I said, this was for our wedding, and it was simply too big, and the adjustment would need to be at the very beginning, so I wasn't going to rip it back. So all I've done with this is sew So put it on to sort of explain it a bit better, I think. This was falling off me, off my shoulders. It was really wide. I am not very busty, and it was, for a busty person, I think it would have looked great on, but I don't, so it would just hang off me. So I simply took in, I think it was about 2 inches, 2 inches I started with, all the way down to next to no inch, and I just sewed the inside. It doesn't look the most prettiest, but I did a nice straight line, and then I did a little bit of a selvage and then just simply cut it. I am a bit of a heathen like that, but I think I've made this now so that I can wear it all the time if I want to. And it is very much a colour that I love wearing. I've realised recently more where my wheelhouse of colours sit, and I think I'm gonna do myself a mood board that has these colours in, so that I can really start reacting to that and what I'm drawn to most, rather than getting excited and seeing a beautiful colour that, while I love, I might not actually wear. In the winter and throughout the year, I tend to have loads of black, loads of grey, and then spring and summer I veer into sometimes white, which is always silly, but I still do it. But then like denim blues, be that actual denim or linen, or like that sort of light, very light denim blue, sort of light sagey green, and light pink and dusky pinks, which I find strange because I didn't think that, but actually if I look at my wardrobe when it comes to spring, that's where I tend to go. So this does go with everything all year round pretty much. It is, as far as I'm concerned, a neutral. So yeah, all that to say, I now have this gorgeous cardigan that I can wear, and it must have taken me 10 minutes, if that, to make the fix. So this has gone from being something that I would wear actually almost at bedtime over pyjamas to something that I can now wear. And I do highly recommend, if you can, make adjustments so that you will love and wear your items, do. If you've had any sort of revelations in that department, again, I would really love to hear, because it, you know, it's inspiring to hear other people and what they've done. And on that, I guess I'll share one last object, and this I did finish just before Christmas, but I never did share. And I remembered that I had said, oh yeah, what I might do is omit the colour work on the sleeves so that I finish it, and I did exactly that. I dug out it's called Rug by Junko Okamoto, and I knit it using Alapalos Loppy. I always say that very badly, it's a bit of a tongue twister. But the green was from my grandma, which is really quite nice to have. It was like getting a bit of a lockdown hug from my grandma. And the others are just leftovers. And whilst, yes, if in hindsight, if I knitted this in black and grey and white, I would wear this a lot more. But this is an outdoor item for me. This is going to be great in the summer when it's really cold, when you pretending like, yeah, we'll be going on, but you know, if we go up to Scotland, say, and we're camping, or to Wales and camping, or Castleberry Park, and it's you know, you go in summer stuff, I can shove this in my bag, sit on it, and then wear it once it's so cold, because it does get that cold in the evenings. So I think for an over-the-top piece / picnic blanket, this is perfect. This pattern only comes in one size, but it's a free pattern, which is just something. I didn't go down a needle size, and I probably should have, because then it would have been a bit more fitted. but I did think ahead, and I knew that I wanted something that was going to be oversized and for layering. You know, I could easily wear a couple of jumpers under this. But all that to say, really, is that if you're not enjoying something, rip it out or make adjustments. Yes, this looks a bit funny. It does look even more funny because I did go down a needle size because I didn't want the sleeves quite as wide. So I went down by 0.5 mil, and where it's connected to the colourwork you can see. So I might have to give it a wash and I'll block it out, but I'm really not that sort of fussy. So yeah, don't be afraid to change things, I think. And I know most of us aren't, but if there's someone that's a bit nervous about adjusting, it's fine. We can undo it. We can start again or not start again. But adjust. And yeah, so I feel like I've added and adjusted things that are what I want to wear, which is very important for me going forward. And I have some whips that I am working on, but like I said, I think I've already spoken for quite some time, and in the chaotic mood I am in, I really want breakfast. So I do actually have this box of stuff. This is finished objects. There's actually 4 in here, so not that many. And I just wanted to give you a peek of this one because I've had this... Oh, hey Audrey! I've had this one finished for months, like since October, and I haven't shared it anywhere with anyone, and I really want to, and I will come back to it and do a full episode, but my aunt has a bike that I would love to have gone and filmed this with, like alongside, and I've not been able to, obviously, but I knitted a cycling jersey from a 1905 pattern, and I absolutely love it and I really want to talk about it. I knitted a Spencer from, I think this was a 1890 pattern. I knitted this, which is it's just called Lady Sweater, which has these amazing mutton sleeve arms in Yvering Bell by Whistlebear. And this was a 1908 pattern again. And there's something really, really simple. And this was just a sort of strange shawl. And I really want to talk about these, but I really hoped that I'd get to do some cool filming to show them and have something interesting to watch while I was talking about them in a bit more detail than just I knitted this thing. So maybe I will just do a cozy sit and knit as I talk about it so that there's something more interesting. But they're projects that I really love, and it's been really hard not sharing with them. Sharing them with you. So yeah, I do have some fun things coming up. And ooh, I must pause. Like fun things that I want to share and projects that I want to share, but it's been quite busy at the moment, quite overwhelming trying to get everything that I want to get done. But a massive sense of joy today from the sunshine, and yeah, I'm gonna have some breakfast. I opted to go for another run today instead of having breakfast before I've recorded, which was the correct choice because that got me outside seeing everything and have a smile on my face now. But I'm definitely ready for something to eat. Alex bought bagels, very good. Haven't had a bagel in a long time. I'm gonna have a bagel for breakfast. I'm gonna put these projects away nicely, put my finished objects in my bedroom away. I'm going to weave in the end on this sock, maybe put a few rows on the other one. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for being here. As I said, thank you for being a part of my knitting journey, and thank you for letting me be part of your making journey. It really is special, and feels good. Feels good to reflect, it feels good to share. So thank you so much. I hope that you are hanging on in there. It does feel like there's a bit more light at the end of the tunnel at the moment. As of today, yesterday did not, but it really does. So please remember that there is a bit of light at the end of this tunnel. And don't forget to check in with your friends, check in with your loved ones, reach out if you need to. Just do anything you can to look after yourself. Get outside if you can, move if you can, craft what you absolutely love and do it as much as you can. Yeah, eat something good, something that makes you feel really good, something exciting, something that makes you excited to cook. I did that yesterday evening, even though I really had no energy to. I made tandoori chickpea wraps, really good, highly recommend. Yeah, drink something you love too, and feel good if you can. With that, I do wish you very well. I hope that you spend some quality time with yourself and your significant other, or your family or friends, be it over Zoom, over Discord. And yeah, take care of yourself, and I really hope to see you again very soon.